This is our new weekly live segment called Hot Take. It's where we discuss briefly a topic in the branding, marketing, or creative world that we've come across in our regular routine with clients, partners, vendors, friends, family, whatever. Some kind of things we kind of hear we're out and about even. But for this week, the topic I wanted to speak to is event marketing. And now that we've kind of begun to participate in these events post-COVID, I thought it was pretty timely. We recently attended a local manufacturing trade show, and inevitably we chatted to our booth mate, and one of our neighbors was a producer of industrial parts. And I asked him if he was excited about the show to identify new customers, get business. But he immediately communicated that he wasn't all that excited about the show. He had to travel, he had to prep, he had to stop other sales activities for this particular show, and it wasn't well attended as in years past, which are all good points. But I asked what his strategy was for the show. He stated that it was pretty simple, that he set up his booth, set up his wares, put his parts out on the table, and then he waited for people to walk by and engage. He didn't have any proactive strategy to reach out to attendees, clients, vendors, nor did he have any kind of follow-up plan to follow up with any leads that did come by. But I also asked him about what his average order was. He said it was about $75,000 an order, which is a pretty high price point, right? I asked him what the reorder rate was, and he said it's in the 90% range, since people have to pay for a template for their part to be made, and then once they have that template, they don't want to pay to have that template made again, they just reorder. So I suggested that just judging the show on the basis of whether he gets a new customer immediately at the show, wasn't the best metric. Nor did it kind of take into consideration that the sales cycle is longer than a one-day trade show. So it makes a lot of sense to me that you take into consideration the lifetime value of a client. If an average order is $75K and they reorder 90% of the time, judging whether or not you get a sale that day isn't a good metric. I also thought this was a really good example of two things. One, that basing that ROI and whether a sale is made that day it's not accurate. And having no integrated strategy to follow up, build relationships, create trust and credibility was an enormous lost opportunity. So that's it for our first hot take. This is Adam with Insight Branding, Marketing, Creative. Hope everybody's well, and